At 1:19 a.m., a voice from the cockpit said 5 words. "Good night, Malaysian 370. It was the last thing anyone heard. 239 people. A Boeing 777 swallowed by the sky. Not in 1937, not before satellites, not before GPS. March 8th, 2014. We track every package on Earth. We stream live from Mars rovers. We photograph black holes 55 million light years away. But a passenger jet full of families vanished, and we still don't know exactly where it rests. This is the story of how planes disappear in an age when nothing is supposed to, and why the sky above us has blind spots we never talk about. Look at a flight tracking app right now, thousands of planes, everyone labeled, tagged, moving in real time. We've built a system that feels omniscient. Air traffic control centers in every country, radar stations ringing every coast, satellites orbiting overhead. But here's what the apps don't show you. Pull back from the coasts, fly over the open ocean, and the signals start to fade. Ground radar only reaches a few hundred kilometers from shore. After that, planes report their own position every few minutes by radio or data link. If a transponder is switched off, if a system fails in the wrong place, that stream of information just stops. To the screens on the ground, a jet can go from fully visible to gone in under 60 seconds. We don't watch every plane. We trust every plane to tell us where it is. And sometimes they stop talking. March 8th, 2014, 12:41 a.m. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 lifts off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. A red-eye, routine, forgettable. 239 passengers settling into their seats, dimming their screens, closing their eyes. At 1:01 a.m., the last routine transmission. Malaysian 370 maintaining flight level 350. At 1:19 a.m., a handover. Good night, Malaysian 370. Then silence. Controllers waited. 1 minute, 2, 5. The blip that was MH370 simply wasn't there anymore. No mayday, no explosion on radar, no debris raining from the sky, just a gap where a plane used to be. What happened next took years to piece together. Military radar, reviewed days later, revealed something chilling. MH370 hadn't crashed after its last transmission. It had turned sharply, deliberately west, back across the Malay Peninsula, then south into one of the most remote stretches of ocean on Earth. For 7 more hours, the plane appears to have flown on, far beyond fuel range, to Beijing, deep into the southern Indian Ocean, where no one was watching, where no one was looking. And then somewhere out there, it stopped. The search that followed was the largest in aviation history. Ships from dozens of nations, underwater drones scanning the seafloor, satellites retasked to photograph floating debris. The search zone covered an area larger than the nation of Greece. Years passed. A piece of wing washed up in Réunion, 2,000 miles from the presumed crash site. Fragments appeared on beaches in Madagascar, Mozambique, Tanzania. Enough to confirm MH370 ended in the ocean. Not enough to tell us why it flew there. Not enough to find the black boxes. Not enough to explain what happened inside that cockpit after the last good night. To this day, the main wreckage has never been found. The flight recorder has never been heard. A Boeing 777, one of the most advanced aircraft ever built, carrying 239 people who trusted the sky, simply ceased to exist in 2014. MH370 is not an anomaly, it's a pattern. In 2009, Air France 447 vanished over the Atlantic. An Airbus A330 flying from Rio to Paris. Modern, connected, monitored. It fell from the sky at 2 a.m. It took 5 days to find the first debris, 2 years to recover the black boxes from 4,000 meters below the surface. And when they finally heard the recording, the last words of the first officer were, "We're going to crash. This can't be true." Go back further. Flight 1945. 5 Navy bombers vanish over the Atlantic. Compasses reported failing. Radio contact confused. None of the planes were ever found. Amelia Earhart, 1946. One of the most famous pilots in history disappears over the Pacific. Her last transmission mentioned low fuel. No confirmed wreckage has ever been recovered. Different eras, different technologies. The same result, a plane lifts off, contact is lost, the world searches, and sometimes the world never finds. When a plane crashes over land, gravity leaves evidence, a debris field, scorch marks, a crater. But the ocean doesn't work that way. A jet hitting water at high speed fragments, scatters, sinks. Within hours, pieces are carried by currents, pulled in different directions, some floating, most sinking. The Indian Ocean, where MH370 is believed to rest, is one of the deepest on Earth, 4,000 to 6,000 meters down. At that depth, there is no light. Pressure crushes anything not designed to survive it. A fuselage can sink for over an hour before reaching the bottom, and even when it lands, the seafloor is not flat. It's a landscape of ridges, canyons, and volcanic formations where wreckage can slide, settle, or be buried by sediment. Finding a plane down there is like searching for a single car in a desert the size of a country at night from space. Sonar can map the bottom inch by inch, but it takes months and it costs millions. And even then, you're only looking at shadows. The ocean doesn't give up secrets, it keeps them. Where there is silence, stories rush in to fill it. For MH370, theories multiplied. The captain, facing personal turmoil, deliberately diverted the aircraft. A catastrophic failure, fire decompression, incapacitated the crew while autopilot flew on. A hijacking gone wrong. A secret cargo. Even a military shootdown, covered up by nations who didn't want to admit what they'd done. Each theory explains part of the evidence. None explains all of it. Officially, after years of investigation, the cause of MH370's disappearance remains undetermined. Not solved, not closed, just undetermined. For the families, that word is not bureaucratic language. It's a wound that never heals. No funeral, no grave, no final answer. Just a flight number and a question that follows them forever. The deep ocean is not the only place where things vanish into darkness. The sky has its own trenches, blind zones where radar fades, gaps in data where minutes go unrecorded, spaces between nations where no one is quite responsible. We like to believe the world is mapped, that nothing large can hide anymore. That technology has made the unknown known, but every missing flight tells us otherwise. Somewhere above the southern Indian Ocean, 239 people crossed a line we couldn't see. And on the other side of that line, even our satellites, our radars, Our trillion-dollar systems could not bring them back. The sky still has secrets, not ancient secrets. Not from the age of explorers, secrets from 2014. The question isn't whether planes can still vanish. The question is, what else are we not seeing? Echo for Time Channel beyond logic, beyond time. Like, subscribe, and step into the unknown.